I'm sorry, I had a disconnection, so that session got ended. Inshallah, we will continue 5 and 6 in a new session. We can keep that as the practice session. So we have 4 levels of gunna. One is the most complete. So you have noon mushaddad and mim mushaddad. This is the longest gunna. Also, you had in idgham with gunna. When did you have that? When there is a noon sakina or tanween followed by yanmu. And in yanmu, you have complete merging for noon and for mim. Again, what happens in this is noon and mim, they have a shadda, right? And noon and mim shadda, you have a rule that you have to do gunna because it's most complete gunna. So in idgham with gunna, yanmu group, when there is noon or mim, you have a most complete. Complete you have 4, right? Ra, lam, mim and noon. But in that ra and lam is without gunna. With gunna you just have mim and noon. So again they come under the noon and mim mushaddad only. Because whenever they will be there with noon sakina rule, they will be having a shadda on top. So it's just like saying a noon mushaddad and mim mushaddad. They will always have a gunna. That's the most complete, akmal. Second is gunna kamila. Kamila is just complete. Akmal is most complete, like akbar, the most greatest. So like that, kamila is complete. It is the second longest gunna. Al noon mukhfa wal mim mukhafa. When you have noon sakina or mim sakina, and if they are followed by ikhfa, okay, so noon mukhfa wal mim mukhfa. When you have noon sakina or mim sakina and they are in the ikhfa ruling, then you do a gunna, right? So this gunna that you do, that doesn't come in the most complete gunna. It comes in the kamila. It's just a complete gunna. Your gunna is complete, but it's not that long. It's the second longest gunna. In its timing, you complete it with 2 counts, but it is not as long as the most complete gunna. It's not that long. The next is gunna naqisa, which is incomplete gunna. This is even shorter than the complete gunna. Your gunna naqisa is shorter. Like for example, when you have noon mudhara wal mim mudhara, that means mudhara means from izhar. When noon sakina is in izhar rule, or mim sakina is izhar, like an, am. So you have a gunna, but it's very short timing because this is the inherent nature of gunna. The other last one is most incomplete gunna. This is the most shortest of all. That is the noon sakina and mim sakina with vowels. Because when you're saying an, you at least have some stop there, and but when you say na, no, ni, it's even more short. You're not stopping at all. So but the gunna is still there because that's inherent. So this noon and mim sakina with vowels will come under most incomplete gunna. And the difference, like it's written that it's most longest, then second longest, then shorter and shortest. This timing between these categories is very minute. So this, if anyone does a mistake in this, it would be len khafi, which only experienced readers and listeners, they can tell the difference, whether how much is being done and is it done properly or no. So if you want to say the gunna with complete technique, what is necessary is that the tafkhim and tarqiq, which is heavy and lightness of the letter, which is following the ikhfa of noon sakina, is observed during the gunna. That if the next letter is heavy, you should have a heavy gunna. Next letter is light, you should have a light gunna. Now over here they have mentioned the heavy letters as well, like sad, dad, ta, qaf or dha. If noon sakina is followed by any of these, or tanween is followed by any of these, then gunna will have a heavy tafkhim. This tafkhim will be the same rank of tafkhim. Again, in tafkhim you have various levels. There are 5 levels of tafkhim, which we will see. So this tafkhim will be of the same rank of which the next letter. As I told you, tafkhim has various levels. So when that heavy letter is there, you have to see that heavy letter is on which level of tafkhim. And on that same level of tafkhim, you will do the gunna of noon sakin as well. And as it's mentioned, the levels of tafkhim will be done in the level 2, which is the book 2. In book volume 1, it is not there, it's there in volume 2. The various levels of tafkhim will be covered in that. Let's move to chapter number 6, Ahkam Lam as-Sakina. In Lam Sakina rules, they're divided into 5 categories. One is the alif lam. There you have lam sukun. When you say al, the article the, it refers to generally. It is known as lam at-ta'rif or lam al. The other is lam in a verb, in a fi'l, or lam in an amr, hukm, or lam in a noun, an ism, and lam in a harf. Now all these fi'l, amr, ism, harf, all these are grammar terms. When you learn grammar, you will come to know. For now, just remember verb in an order is like, it's one of the tenses, like we have past, present, and future. In Arabic, you have an additional tense called a tense for order, like when you're ordering someone to do something, that come, go. So all these, and generally they will be starting with an alif, and they may have a lam in between. So if that will have a sukun, how do you pronounce it? In lam at-ta'rif, in al, it's extra lam sakina added to the basic word. Like for example, if the word is kitab, I just add lam sakina and kitab, and it becomes the book, it becomes definite. But you cannot pronounce a sukun by itself, right? I cannot pronounce lam sakina, so I need to give a haraka before it so that it's easier to recite. So you add a hamzatul wasl and you read it with a fatha when starting the word. When I say this lam, I will say it with a fatha. I will say al kitab, and I will add a hamzatul wasl. Hamzatul wasl we will see in the coming chapters. This al is not originally part of the word, so if I have any word before that to help me recite that lam sukun, I will say hadha kitab. I will not say hadha al kitab, hadha kitab. So that alif a which I had put fatha, that will go away. In joining, that will go away. Now another thing that they mentioned is the noun that will come after al. It can be a regular noun, which you can even say without the article, like ash-shams. I can also say shams without alif lam. But there are certain words like alladhi, allati, there by itself I cannot break it down and remove the al from the word. So in lam at-ta'rif you have 2 rules. One is izhar and idgham. Izhar means you're going to recite the lam, so lam will have a sukun. Izhar means recite, right? You have to give a proper sukun, so you will have al-haq, al-ardu. It's generally known as lam kamariya, and you would have come across this in most places in Tajweed. So this lam is said clearly, and there is a code word here mentioned, and all these 14 letters will have L with it. But in idgham, if it is any letter other than these 14 letters, you're going to merge the lam into the next letter, so the lam sound will not come. The 2 letters, they will merge into one. This is also known as lam ash-shamsiyya, and in this case lam will not have a sukun because I don't have to say L, so there will be no sukun, but there will be shadda on the next letter to denote the idgham, like at-tayyib, ar-rasul. I don't say al-rasul, ar-rasul. And then lafzul jalala, this also has a lam at-ta'rif. Al-ilah, it is Allah. But Allah, you cannot further break it down. Although originally the word was al-ilah, definite article al was there to ilah, but the hamza was, when alif lam was added, the hamza was dropped. The al-ilah, al is there, from ilah the hamza was dropped and it became Allah. So you cannot break down lafzul jalala. So here lafzul jalala, the lam rule is lam ash-shamsiyya. Then there are rules for if lam sukun comes in fa'il, amr, ism and harf. Lam as-sakina, it can occur in verbs, in action words, in nouns, asma, or in participles, harf. The general rule is you have to do idhar, you have to say al. But if it is at the end of a verb, an action or a harf, and the next word is starting with a ra or lam, okay, I'm having a lam sukun at the end of a word, right? I have a lam sukun and the next letter is again a lam or a ra. Since both of these they have closed makhraj, right? Then what you will do is you will join it, you will do an idgham. But otherwise generally the rule is izhar. And you don't have any case where a noun will end in lam sakina. So it's just for verbs and for harf. Harf in grammar is a word that points meaning in another word, like in, of, at. They don't have meaning by itself. It points to a meaning in a different word. So this is the grammar harf. Harf also means alphabet, but here we are not referring to alphabet. We are not referring to that harf. We are referring to the grammar term harf. And only two harf are there which are ending in lam sakina, which is bal and hal. Okay. So for example, I have bal and rafa'ahu. So I will not say bal rafa'ahu because they both are from the same makhraj. It becomes difficult to recite. So bar rafa'ahu. The lam will, if you see, it does not have a sukun written on top. It's an idgham rule. These examples are on the same page 62 of the textbook. So this is an idgham rule. But qul halum. Qul halum. This is idgham. Kul is having, if you see, lam is having a sukun written on top. So wherever there is izhar, sukun will be written on top. And when there is an idgham, you will see a shadda. So there are examples. You just go over the examples. And there is no place in the mushaf where hal is followed by a ra. Whatever says hal can be followed by lam. Hal lakum. And also there is an exception to idgham in ayah number 14 of Surah Al-Mutaffifin. Kalla, bal, and then there is rana, but I don't say barwana. I do not join it. So if you see, there will be a sakta sign there. Sakta means to stop without stopping your breath. So kalla bal rana ala qulubihim. I would make a stop and then say rana. Why there's no merging? Because Hafs and Asim min tariq al-shatibiyya, it has a sakta between these two words. Sakta is stop without taking a breath for a period of time which is less than the normal stop. This is the rule of the gunna, 4 levels of gunna, the lam sakina rules. And mudud, inshallah, we will do in the next session because the time is up. So this much should be enough for you all to practice. So if you have any queries until here, just let me know. And inshallah, what we have now left is chapter number 7, mudud. That's quite a long chapter. And 8 and 9, we have 3 more chapters. So it's mudud. Once we do mudud, majority of the reciting rulings are done. You just have some other things that to go through, like sifat and other things. But the ruling wise, most of the rules are done here. You just have qalqala in the last chapter. Qalqala is also okay. It's not too tough as such. How letters are formed is also quite a short chapter. So it's basically mudud that we have to do now. So inshallah we will do that day after tomorrow. Okay, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.